wish nothing but the best for you too. Okay. Today, that doesn't really work. Maybe like this. Today, I am going to try and figure out why I eliminate joy from the things that I do. So, welcome to the classroom. The education is targeting me, and I'm trying to figure out exactly that, why I start things with like all this enthusiasm, and then I still do them because I've somehow picked up that like you have to be disciplined and like da 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 da, and I'm good at forcing myself to do stuff, but I struggle with like finding joy in it anymore. So I'm gonna try and figure it out. The microphone's over there. I don't know if it's gonna be great. Like, let's hope for the best. We shall see. So I'm thinking about this in terms of like joy, right? What is my recipe for joy? Recipe? First of all, spelling would be really useful. I think the things that come to mind for me when I think about like how I define or how I would look at joy is like, does it spark my creativity? Does it give me something to like figure out or to like sink my teeth into? And does it feel like internally aligned to what I feel like I'm supposed to be doing or what I'm trying to do or why I'm on this planet for whatever reason? So, okay, spark creativity by like internally aligned by, what else did I say? Like something to figure out, basically. So like something to figure out. Okay, so like if that's the recipe for my like joy, then I'm gonna try and like detail out what I think happens to me, and I'm realizing that like this placement is not that perfect, but it is what it is. So I would say if I have to graph on an axis, I would say this is like joy, and I would say this is like, what is the top axis? Like pursuits. No, that doesn't make any sense. What's the other axis? If I'm having joy and then I'm having like, you know what it is? You know what it is? Internal pressure. That's what it is. So it's like, okay, and then I think this is like in phases. There's like, there's like the initial like setup of things. Initial like start. Then it's like pre-flow. So like initial start is like you just come up with the idea and figuring it out. Pre-flow is like we've started to do some work on it, we haven't quite found the feet. Flow is like I've started, it's in the routine, it's like, you know, we're getting things done of it, and then the next piece would be like, I don't know, embedded maybe, like, or like routine. And this is like with like new activities, I feel like, or like new things. This isn't just like random moments of joy. This is like pursuing projects or personal ambitions or like something in that line. what happens, I feel like, is, and I'll take this project as a perfect example. So let's do like fast and slow project. I also stink. So fast and slow project, what happens is like I come up with these ideas and I'm like super pumped to be like, you know what, this is like the next right thing. This feels like aligned to what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel like this is the next like piece of my puzzle. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be able to like dive in and like, I can do this. I have this idea. I want to like play this out. And like, I don't know what it's going to look like. Like, I need to figure out how this is going to work and if this will go and like, is this the right thing? And like all the rest of it. Like that has like it's the perfect joy potential recipe for me. And so I'm just thinking about that and I'm like, is that like too much already? Like, is that even that way of looking at it already like kind of putting pressure, like spelling this out in a recipe? Anyway, you know what? This is like how my mind works. So maybe I'm already off base, but like, here we go. So I've done all of those steps and then it's like, okay, cool. So initially joy is like super high. And I'm realizing internal pressure should probably be on the other axis. Okay, joy. Oh my God, learning to spell would be amazing. Joy. Internal pressure. I don't know if you can actually see any of this. Oh, kind of. Okay. So it starts, joy is like super, super high and pressure is like super, super low. So we're like, this is cool. This is great. This is like moving in the right direction. As I get like further along, the pressure increases, but so does the joy, I feel like. So I'm like feeling out and it's going, oh, I'm putting like things in place. The pressure is functional. The pressure or like that kind of little bit of stress is like, it's actually moving me. I don't know if you've ever seen like that stress curve, but like the stress is in like a positive place where it's moving me into like getting things done, moving across like, and this is probably even like sharper, to be honest. Like it starts like here. Maybe that's also kind of wrong, actually. I feel like I get a lot of joy already in the initial phase. So like here, and then we're moving up to like pre-flow is like we're getting going. Then as we get further along into things, which is, I would say, is where I'm at with like the fast and the slow project now, the internal pressure is increasing and the joy is like tanking, I would say. And it's kind of like it falls below the initial like spark, the initial idea, the initial like reason why I wanted to like get going and get things moving. And then I feel like the fast and slow project I can't use as the example, but then like I embed it in my routine and it ends up like somewhere around like here, which is that like it's pretty much all internalized pressure. And maybe the joy is even a little bit less. It like is pretty much all internalized pressure. And I'm just like not getting much joy out of it, but I'm just good at being disciplined. So I just like will keep doing it anyway and like keep making it work. And I'm like, how do I make this so that by the time we've moved over here, I haven't got my internal pressure like at a crazy amount and I can actually just let things like move. Because whatever happens with my projects, my internal pressure, and that's the reason why I switched the axes, like my internal pressure goes up over time. Like I go from, it's chill, it's cool, I have like all of this room to explore and like check things out and like feel it out and like who knows, it's gonna be so amazing, like oh. And then cue to sometimes like 2 weeks later, and I feel like I've juiced every piece of joy out of it, and all I'm doing is like, it's not good enough, it should be better, you should have a better idea, you should have it figured out, it should be like somewhere that it's not, and where you've gotten to, that's not enough, it should be somewhere else. And I know I have, you know, this kind of perfectionism tendencies, which I'm very well aware are like, there's no, there, it's like very negative. Hang on, I think I have like, let me see. This is a book by Brene Brown, and I'm pretty sure I have the page marked. She calls it like Vulnerability Armory. And I think she uses like perfectionism as one of the shields. Let me see. The shield, protectionism. Basically, she's going, it's okay. Perfectionism is not the same thing as striving for excellence. Perfectionism is not about healthy achievement and growth. Perfectionism is a defensive move. It's the belief that if we do things perfectly and look perfect, we can minimize or avoid the pain of blame, judgment, and shame. Perfectionism is a 20-ton shield that we lug around thinking it will protect us, when in fact it's the thing that's really preventing us from being seen. Hello? I get that. I understand that, like, up here. Why isn't it translating into, like, everything else? I don't know. It's irritating me. And again, it feels like a loop, because then it's like, I want to get over perfectionist tendencies perfectly so that I can move on. You know what? It's tiring. It's tiring, people. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, how do I make the joy, like, go up here, and the internal pressure not, like, maybe I don't have to move along, and then these like stage gates don't make sense. They make sense in the current state, because like by the time I've gotten something over into routine, the chances are my internal pressure is like really high. But like, what does a good version of this graph look like? Like, does anyone have, I know I could go and find 12 ways to define joy and all of these graphs and all of this information, but like, I've read the books, I've done the things, I've done the work, I've gone to therapy, I've done the things, and it's like, why is it hard? Why is it so hard to just exist in a way that doesn't feel as if I have the need to put pressure on the things that I'm doing to be something more than what they are? And I haven't figured that out yet, and I'm trying to. And so this week I felt like a little bit uninspired, because all I felt was the internal pressure and like very little of the joy. And I realized that was a bit of a trap. So I'm trying to like get around myself by just sharing it and hoping that it sparks something else. And that is what I wanted to share. Okay, bye.